Thanks. It's good to see everybody this morning, a lot of friendly faces. When Brad asked me to talk about this, we haven't really, in our consortium, spent a lot of time yet on the access and egress issue, but from the time I spent at this conference, obviously it's a very important one. And from the worker perspective, the first thing it seems to me that they want to know, they need to know is, first of all, where is this construction site going to be? How do I get there? And how do I get into the site? So somehow that has to be communicated with them ahead of time, and it has to be very clear to them where they enter the site and how they get to work each day. As was mentioned in some of the questions, the second question I would ask is, okay, I get to this site, where am I going to park my vehicle? Because obviously a lot of these sites are going to be in the middle, say, of a stretch of road, and there has to be some place for them to park their vehicle. They're generally not going to be able to walk to work, so they're going to have to drive there. Where are they going to park? And how do they get to that? And how do they get from where they're parking to where they're actually going to be doing the construction work? And likewise, and this goes back to, and we'll discuss this later when David gives his presentation about internal traffic control plans, at various points during the day when they take breaks, when they go to lunch, if they have to wash up, if they have to use the restrooms, where are those going to be located? How do I get to and from the work area and in a safe manner so that I'm not exposed to traffic? The other question that I think they're going to be asking is when vehicles come into the work area and access the work area, are they going to know where to go? And does somebody how are they going to be informed about where they're supposed to go to make sure that pedestrians in the area are safe? Is somebody going to have to be stationed at the access point to stop vehicles and explain to them, okay, here's where you're supposed to go, here's where you're not supposed to be driving, etc. Here's how you get in, here's how you get out. Obviously, one of the main issues is going to be errant vehicles. How do we have a safe access and egress points that are going to prevent errant vehicles coming into the work zone? And we discussed this in our consortium. Are you going to have placards on vehicles that say, don't follow me, I'm going into a work zone, so that motorists don't follow these vehicles? And I know in some states they do that quite a bit. And also, who in the work site is going to make sure that the access and egress points are properly marked during the work time and at night, or when the work is not being used, when the work is not going on, because you don't want vehicles obviously traveling into there when there's no work going on. And how are you going to make sure it's properly marked at all times? And some of these issues are related also to this question of, particularly if you're working in the median, how do we make sure that workers don't have to cross over open traffic lanes to get to where they're working, to get to a rest area, etc. And I know yesterday David was showing us an example of that, where somebody crossed over to get to a shady area to rest and was struck and killed. So I think those are the kinds of issues that I think that are important to answer, the kinds of questions that I don't think we have good answers for right now, but we're going to be working on these over the next couple of months, hoping to develop some kind of guidance and then training materials to go with them, so we can give contractors and workers a clear sense of things that will be useful to do, best practices to make sure that we have safe access and egress to these work areas. The other thing that I wanted to mention is a lot of times we have, yesterday we were talking, I think Brian was talking about how it slows traffic down when you have an access point and trucks are entering the work area, and that really slows the traffic down. So the question is, do we have, in terms of safe access and egress, spaces for trucks and vehicles to enter the work zone where they have some room to decelerate or accelerate out of the work area safely? So I think those are all questions that I'd raise. I don't have the answers. I'm hoping that through the discussion today and through our work over the next couple months, we'll be able to answer some of these questions. So thank you very much.